Hello everyone, this is Fine from Awesome Tech Gaming Pro. I hope you all are well. Today I'm going to talk about 55-inch TCL C645 TV. Frankly, you are not entitled to expect perfection in a product as competitively priced as this. And sure enough, the TCL 55-inch C645 is far from perfect. But it's surprisingly accomplished in quite a few areas. And in the right circumstances, it looks like a more expensive television. Best not to pay too much attention to the way it sounds though. If you are new in my channel, then please subscribe and press the bell icon for future notifications and upcoming videos. I have another channel named Tech Gaming Villa, where I upload similar kind of tech videos like TV comparison, sound system, home theater. You can check and subscribe. Its positive side is its vibrant, quite composed images. Great specification for the money, good smart TV features. But the downside is its images are not all that bright, so contrast suffer. Sound is hard and bright. Smart TV interface takes its time. Well, this TCL is here to make your assumptions look a long way wide of the mark. This TV costs way less than a screen with this kind of specification tends to. Can TCL have undercut the market by a significant margin while still producing a TV that's worth watching? This TCL C645 Qled TV is on sale in the United Kingdom at an extremely eye-catching €390. In America, the equivalent model goes for $400, while in Australia, the most comparable model is yours for $900 thereabouts. Need I say with undue emphasis that is very affordable indeed for a 4K QLED TV with a credible smart TV interface and some current gen games console support. I'm tempted to suggest it's almost too affordable. When the majority of expensive televisions are nothing special when it comes to design, it seems self-evident that a TV as reasonably priced as TCL 55-inch C645K has not been designed so much as constructed. Still, we tend to buy a television in order to look directly at it, right? And in this respect, this TV is absolutely fine. Its bezels are reasonably slim. The wood and feet it stands on don't feel anything special but look perfectly okay. And they can be attached in a couple of positions. So the TCL doesn't need all that wide surface to stand on. They lift the screen to the extent that any realistically sized soundbar will fit nicely beneath it. And besides, when you realize the C645K is a hefty 83mm at its deepest point, you are unlikely to want to hang it up on the wall, even if its 11 kg weight is no burden. It looks a little less than elegant when it's up there. Build quality and the standard of finish are completely unremarkable too, which in the context of the price is almost remarkable in itself. The plastics used in its construction feel no more special than those used for the feet, and spending more will buy you far fewer exposed screw widths on the rear panel. But who looks at the rear panel anyway? Bear the asking price in mind and there's nothing to take issue with here. TCL C645 is a 4K TV using quantum dot QLED technology in tandem with full array backlighting in 2040 discrete zones. It's compatible with every worldwide HDR standard, including HDR10+ and Dolby Vision. And its 2-channel 20-watt audio system can deal with Dolby Atmos and BTS HD soundtracks. At the risk of laboring the point, there's a powerful specification for a 55-inch screen that costs less than €400. And somehow there's more. One of its 3 HDMI inputs is at 2.1 standard with LLM and AMD FreeSync compatibility. For the games and ear functionality for the owners of recent soundbars, furthermore connectivity is covered by a USB 3.0 slot. A couple of aerial bindings posts a 3.5mm composite video input, an Ethernet socket, and digital optical output. Wireless alternatives are available via Bluetooth 5.0 and dual band Wi-Fi. Once you have chosen a method to get your content on board, The TCL's AIPQ 3.0 processing engine is in charge of picture quality. It deploys MEMC motion estimate motion compensation to deal with on-screen motion. It also incorporates its game accelerator feature, which tries to imply it can deliver 4K 120 Hz, but in fact its 60 Hz panel requires the use of dual-line gate technology to show 120 FPS content. So yes, you are only getting half the vertical resolution of true 120 FPS, but there's where you need to remind yourself of the asking price again. It ought to be clarified that this is a review of TCL 55C645K for the UK market. In some countries it named TCL C645, which differs from what you get on the continent, chiefly in terms of the interface. UK owners get Android TV, while those not of these is this plug into Google TV as the smart interface. Either way though, the smart TV interface occupies the whole screen. It doesn't have many apps as a standard, and downloading the ones you want from the Google Play Store takes a while. In fact, also covers rearranging apps into your desired order and the loading time of the apps themselves. At least it has every app you are likely to require though, and Freeview Play means all the catch-up TV content you want is available too. Navigating the interface or the fairly brief setup menus is a job for the comprehensive, logical and unremarkable feeling remote control handset. Or you may prefer to use voice control, but here again is where things differ based on your location. UK viewers are prompted to add the TCL skill to your Alexa app. The Google TV model has the Google Assistant built in naturally. If you see its picture quality, it lacks brightness, but it has good backlighting control, both convincing color palette. Having just one HDMI 2.1 socket is a bit of an inconvenience, especially as it's in charge of ear functionality too. But there's no doubt that this TV does by far its best work when given some full-on content to deal with. Load up a PlayStation 5 game or a Ultra HD 4K Blu-ray disc with an HDR element to it, and there's a lot to like about the resulting images. The vintage charms of Gregory's Girl in its Dolby Vision remastered These allow the TCL to reveal quite a few areas in its stable and composed watch, handles even the sport-related on-screen motion well, and it keeps detail levels high at the same time. Patterns and textures get plenty of calm, stable expression, and edge definition is good. Colors are generally convincing, and the C645 does particularly good work with skin tones. There's plenty of across-the-board variation in tone and shade, and the Qled configuration makes its influence felt in the simple range of colors the TCL can generate. Black tones are quite deep by the standards of LCD panels, particularly panels as affordable as this one, and the backlighting is focused and controlled well. I found that only the most testing stuff, while text on a black background, for example, can fluster it. This is not a bright television, despite the fact its white tones are respectively clean and detailed. Contrasts are far from strong. Console games that rely on lighting effects don't have the pop available on brighter screens. And the dynamic contrast control in the setup menus is extremely mild in its effects. None of this is helped by the reflectivity of the screen. Watch the TCL in a bright room, and its readiness to reflect combines unhappily with its own lack of outlet brightness. Switch to some 4K content from a streaming service, and there's only the slightest drop-off in detail levels and some restlessness to edge definition to let you know what's what as regards your source. But you will know where your content is coming from already, because the C645 takes longer to load than any screen you have sat in front of in who knows how long, and once it's loaded, there's a short period of jumping and stuttering while the system establishes a buffer. Step down to some 1080p content, and this is a perfectly decent upscaler as long as you don't mind a little softness and rather less certainty with motion than before. Anything less information rich than this, though, and the TCL isn't comfortable in the slightest. It becomes quite coarse and noisy and loses its grip on movement quite badly. To be honest, the easiest thing to say here is to budget for a soundbar. This is the feeblest sounding 20 watts I have heard, and the system's stereo configuration sounds small and cramped. It sounds aggressive and hard at volume too. There's a lack of substance and refinement here that seems almost willful. Its sound quality is thin, edgy sound, thinner and edgier the louder it gets, small scale and ill-defined. There's no such thing as a freelance, etc. and so on. But the TCL 55C 645K isn't the service station sandwich its asking price might suggest. On a pound for pound basis, in fact, it's quite tasty, which is about all you can ask of a 55-inch QLED TV costing less than a 400 euro. So what's your thought about this TV? Please write in the comments below. That's it from now.